Good morning, world. It is 7:34, which means I'm 4 minutes late. Ooh. But it is what it is. It's Wednesday. If you follow me on Instagram, that you know that yesterday I was just like dying. Not actually doing state testing. Yay. But if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I teach biology and environmental science in the state of Florida. And if you are new, go ahead and like and subscribe because I am a first-year teacher and we're all along for this crazy ride. But I will see you guys when I'm in my classroom. Hello, happy afternoon. Let me tell y'all, I am so flipping over my fifth period some days. I just have a lot of like personality in that class, and it's a lot of personalities that do not match. And our school is relatively smaller. I think we have like 300 or so kids that go here. So if kids end up being in the same reading level or math level, so they end up in like the same reading and math classes, they end up together all day long. And it is the first week of April, and we still haven't gone on spring break yet. Our spring break is the third week of April, so tensions are kind of starting to run at this point. So today, my fifth period just started popping off on each other, and I'm just like, I cannot deal with this. And I, sent one kid out because he started swearing and hooting and hollering. And it was like 3 or 4 kids that were antagonizing him. And it's just so hard as a teacher to listen or to know that the kids are saying things or whispering things or doing things. They're not necessarily like detention worthy, or you can't necessarily hear them. But then you do hear the kid who just had it up to here and then starts popping off at them. And it's just like, I hate that. I hate not being able to punish fairly or equally or just in that awkward in between. So that's where that is. I'm kind of bummed out because he kind of popped off, but didn't swear, just popped off. And I like went over to him like, hey, do you want to take a walk? And he's like, no, I don't want to take a walk. And they said something or they smirked or they did something and he went, whoo. But yeah, someone else will deal with it, not me. But I just hate that situation. I hate that situation where one of the kids or two of the kids are antagonizing them and you just either can't catch it or it's not really like that bad of antagonizing. They just know that it's like antagonizes and irritates. So that was my fifth period. I would tell you guys what we've been doing, but I was just so irked by that. So awesome. Other than that, the day's going pretty good. It is a Wednesday, so I have a week and a half left until spring break, and I'm dying. And I know you're gonna be like, excuse me, you were literally just in Grand Cayman, you're fine. The week and a half, so I'll be here 3 weeks before spring break. The 3 weeks between that trip, excuse me, between that trip and spring break have been like the craziest 3 weeks ever. So let me show you guys what we did in our classes today, because I swear it was better than just kids fighting. So in my biology class, I just did literally super short notes, like that's it. I'm kind of worried because I feel like I tied together DNA. So right now we're in like the genotypes, phenotypes, genetics type stuff. And I'm kind of worried because I feel like I've tied together DNA structure and genetics well, but I don't think I did a good job as tying like meiosis and mitosis with genetics that well, so that'll be a goal for next year. Then we watched 2 edu-puzzles. If you don't know what that is, it's amazing. I'll put the link in the bio. But basically all it is it's a website where they pull a YouTube video. Let me see if I can show it to you actually. It's where they pull a YouTube video, and it can be any YouTube video you want. So if you found one on like literally anything. I had looked up Jean's Amoeba Sisters. As a science teacher, I love the Amoeba Sisters. You would just click on their video and it allows you to add questions. They can be free response questions. They can be multiple choice questions. And it's like maybe they'd watch Dang, I just need to show you the actual website. I went to YouTube on accident. Okay, let's see here. Let me flip the camera. Edupuzzle. And what you do is I'll show you. There's home, curriculum, content. So I click on my content, and these are just all of the videos that I've saved over time, because pretty much everyone's made all the videos you could possibly want off YouTube into what are called Edupuzzles, so you can search through other people's content. But maybe I would click on watch, and all these little dots are multiple choice questions. So you would hit play. Let me mute it. The video would start to play, and what I like about it is if you're a student, you can't skip forward. So like as a teacher, we can. But it gets to these points, and a little question pops up, and the kids have to answer it. But the kids would have to answer the question, and then they can answer, you know, whatever it is, and hit submit. And it gives them questions match perfectly up with the video as they go. So what I'll do is I'll just like display them on my big screen, and we'll like watch it as a class and submit our answers as a class. And I just have them write it down on their paper, what they think is what. And that's super good. So we watched both of these videos. So it was 16 minutes total. So they did their 3 warm-up questions, which were pedigree related. They did the quick notes, and then they watched these 2 videos. And then that was pretty much took up the entire time. I'm very grateful for, because unfortunately near the end of the second video is when the little tiff started to happen. Now let me show you guys what we're doing in environmental science. So they came in, we answered our 3 questions, and then we did quick notes. We did notes on how they do climate modeling on computers, and then we just did some basic review. We're on a quick little climate change unit, which I've really liked. Now, the one thing that I did do, and I have to show you guys this because it's turned into a 3-day adventure. I thought it was gonna be a single-day adventure. There was this worksheet online, look like this, simple. And the front was just a table that had year with carbon dioxide concentrations and temperature changes. So it showed how since 400,000 BCE, carbon dioxide concentrations have changed, and how since 400,000 BCE, temperature has changed. And so they were just supposed to round it and graph it, and like nice, neat graphs. And I don't know because it's so many bullet points or what, it has taken my kids 3 periods. 3. So I'm not super stoked about that, but for once they are all creating like pretty flawless graphs. So I am excited about that. Yay. But tomorrow is Thursday, and unfortunately, my 10th graders are taking their writing FSA. So I will see my first period for like 15 minutes, which is such an awkward amount of time because it's like just enough to sort of get into something, but not quite enough time to let them just chillax, and not quite enough time to like really accomplish much. And then I will be with my sophomores taking a state test until halfway through for our 4th period. So tomorrow will not be that fun, but it is what it is. But that's kind of all we've been doing in our classes. I'm going to send work for all my environmental science kids. They're just going to do a basic chapter review in the back of the book. Normally I like to do 1 boring chapter review day and then like 1 fun chapter review day before our test, but honestly can't really do it. I would feel wrong playing a game with half of my students, the half that like won't be taking the writing test, while the other half had to do a chapter review. So we're just all gonna do a chapter review. My bio kids, what they'll do tomorrow is nothing. They're taking their writing FSA. So that's kind of that. But I just also wanted to do, let me find some better light. But what I also just wanted to do super quick was kind of reflect on another teacher's YouTube videos that I watch. One of my favorite teacher YouTubers, her name's Shelly, and she teaches elementary school in California. I can't remember what her YouTube handle is. If I can, I'll tag it in my bio, but she's awesome. And she recently had an experience where she traveled to other schools in her district to like watch them educate. And she talked about how like one teacher was crazy strict and the kids were just like in the zone focused writing, how another teacher is just like controlled chaos, and how she's kind of somewhere in between. And she was talking about how, you know, like she felt so bad about herself after seeing that first teacher, like, oh my God, I'm doing my kids an injustice. I don't have perfect control, blah, blah, blah. And as a teacher who pretty much deals with controlled chaos, that's my teaching style. And I am so grateful that that is, I'm just saying my teaching style is very much like controlled chaos. I think kids learn better when they're more interested. And I know this sounds crazy, but kind of sometimes the more chaotic my classroom, the more they're talking, the more they're engaged. You look around my classroom, I rarely see head downs. I do see cell phones out, but it's because I rarely see heads down. I often have to get on kids to keep working, but it's the same kids. It's like the same 2 in every class period. So sometimes I think the chaos and the craziness is like kind of good for them, or like all the craziness keeps them focused, or I don't know what it is, but my classroom is very much controlled chaos, and I have high engagement. Like literally today, maybe kids had their head down the whole time, so I don't know. I like my teaching style, but I definitely understand what she was saying when she, like, I go into rooms where there's perfect control and I'm like, oh my God, I'm the worst teacher ever. Are there things that I'm going to change behavior management wise for next year? Absolutely. Absolutely. But in the end, whatever classroom management techniques works for you and keeps your children safe and happy and keeps you happy is what's going to work best for you, period. People can give all these different classroom management techniques and suggest this and that, but the truth is, whatever you can handle is the type of classroom management you should do. If you keeping perfect control and silence is going to drive you up the wall and just make you angry, don't do that. If that's what you need to be a successful teacher, then do that. So I'm just a big advocate after like being in my own classroom and watching all these classroom behavior management videos that it really just depends on like what is going to make you happiest, because your students are going to respond best to a happy teacher. The first semester that I taught, I got so sick. I was so sick. And when I'm sick, I'm angry. And I had the worst first semester behavior-wise. It was just atrocious. Second semester, or once I started to get better, I started noticing changes because I was happy and healthy and I was establishing a classroom culture that worked for me. So finding that classroom culture that works for you and your kids, critical. But that's kind of it. It's my planning period now, so I'm going to get everything ready for my kids to take with them to do while I'm doing my state testing. And I'm going to write all their tests because they're taking them Friday. Bye, y'all. Literally nothing more satisfying than closing the door after a day with the kids when you did not like their attitudes very much. What I have to do is plug in this giant cart. It's full of Chromebooks and make sure it's fully charged for my kids who are taking their testing tomorrow. The only thing that's bizarre about it is it has 2 outlets, or like 2 plugs. Like, so one plug charges half the Chromebooks and the other plug charges the other half, but the cords can't plug into one outlet at the same time. I don't know. It's bizarre. Basically, it's a pain. Like, you have to plug one in for a few hours and then unplug it and plug the other one in for a few hours. So hopefully they're all ready to go for tomorrow. But what I'm working on right now, I figured I would show you guys. Got YouTube up because I just needed a minute to decompress after a 5th period. Honestly, I really didn't feel any better during my planning periods. So 7th period came out, I was just like, I'm just not in the mood. And they were pretty quiet and good and left me alone. But what I'm doing right now is I'm making my biology students genetics test. And what we did today was we watched 2 Amoeba Sisters videos that had all the content that I wanted. So as they were watching it, I was like jotting down basic facts that I knew that I wanted to be on the test. And so as I was writing the test, I just went through and crossed out everything, like all the little subjects, as I was able to write questions for them. The last test, I just pulled questions out of like our state practice test or the textbook, and they were super hard and my kids struggled. I mean, I think they'll do just fine on the state test. I think they'll test compatibly with other students nationwide, but it was definitely a step up than what they're used to with me. So I'm going to write half the test myself and then do half state level questions in there. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to need to write my environmental science test as well because I decided all Friday would be testing day. Because that's just what this teacher needs. This week is about self-care. You can't tell. I mean, that's just literally just being a teacher in spring. That's what it's like. It's, I know it's not that happy, but it's like exhausting. I'm exhausted. My kids' behaviors are flaring. My patience for their behaviors is declining, and I just can't. So I'm gonna keep working on this test, and I'll get back to you guys when I'm done. I'm definitely gonna leave at 3:30, which is my contract leave time, and it's 3:05, so getting done what I can. But that's kind of it. Peace. My mind needs mental peace. I guess might as well show like what my life's like after school and how I'm going to choose to try and relax and get over this stressful day. First thing that I do is I'm gonna start my drive home. As you can see, my car is literally full of stuff because I was doing an outreach event for my second job this weekend. So I'm probably gonna put that on hold. I'm bringing it back to that office for now. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the Bobby Bones show. That is my absolute favorite show. You can listen to it anywhere you can listen to podcasts. And it's great. I listen to it on Spotify. It's just like super positive vibes, good people, that kind of thing. My car ride home is about 30 minutes. And I'm definitely stopping at a gas station to get myself a snack. So I will see you guys at the gas station. Bye, y'all. Okay, y'all. I am back home, which, yay. Wow, look how messy my kitchen is, boo. I've been kind of trying to think to myself, like, what is causing me to be in a funk today? Because Bear, he tried to make escape. So I'm kind of like, what would cause this? And I think, honestly, the reality of it might be like, I'm out of my flow, or like I'm out of my usual day-to-day routine, which I know sounds so silly, but I am a person that thrives on routine. So before I went on my trip, I was walking every day with my dog, and I had like my lunches ready, and they were healthy and they were delicious. And since getting back, I've been so go that I've not been walking my dog every day. Like, I think I've taken him on 2 walks since I've been back, which is totally unlike me. Like, I used to take him on 2 walks a day. So I think I'm going to put on my workout clothes. I've trapped him, and take this little puppy on a walk. And I'll bring you guys along with me. But before I did that, I want to show you guys like what I wore to school today, because it was one of my favorite outfits. So I wore these hoop earrings, which if you watch my channel, you know they're from Amazon. This white like kind of see-through shirt. I have mixed feelings about it because it often like kind of goes down and I have to pull it back up. Just not my fave. And then I was wearing this flowy skirt, Earthbound, which is like a super hippie store. And I do like it, except for it's a wrap skirt, as you can see. So like if I'm walking in the wind, it can get a little risky. So I definitely, when I wear it, I have to either safety pin it or not be going outside with kids around. So I'm going to put on my workout clothes and take the little dog on a walk. And then I think we're going to tackle the mess that is my apartment. I will see y'all in a minute. Okay, we are getting ready for our walk. This is the most difficult part, is getting little puppy into his get up. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Harness first. No, come back. Come back. Okay. Bear, come here. Oh, Bear. Come here. Come here. Put your feet in. Come here. Oh. Come here. 1 foot. Other foot. Put the first foot back in. Good boy. Good boy. And then clip in. Good boy. Good boy. And then, of course, eco-friendly poop bags. which I just tie onto the handle so it's super easy. My policy is 2 poop bags. He usually poops 3 times. Yay. Now, whenever I go on a walk, I always carry eco-friendly poop bags. Honestly, I'm a big fan of my dog like pooping in the woods because the other thing I always carry with me when I go on a walk is pepper spray. Thank you to my boyfriend. But like I was saying, I always carry pepper spray. My boyfriend actually got it for me because maybe almost a year ago at this point, we were walking bare kind of at dusk, and a pickup truck drove by, and I'm nothing against any breed of animal, let me just disclose that right now, but woo, my dog is very strong. A pit bull jumped out of the moving truck, like through the window, and made a beeline straight for my dog. I didn't see the dog coming at us, but my boyfriend did. It's like, I'm just walking. I usually hold leash to my dog. There he is, pooping. Lovely, lovely bear. And I start hearing my boyfriend going like, like kind of, you know, like yelling at something. And I'm like, just trying to understand, like, I'm like, what, Del, what? I know you're irritated that we're on a long walk, but seriously, is that a reason to yell? And I finally kind of like figure out where he's like pointing his attention towards, and this is all a matter of, you know, just seconds. And I see this dog, he's on the sidewalk, we're crossing the road, and he literally is just sprinting, and he grabs my dog, and he's like, you know, biting my dog, attacking my dog, and my boyfriend is like kind of like man yelling and like kicking this dog as hard as he can, and I'm just screaming. I'm horrified. You know, I've never seen anything like this. And I'm just, my poor baby, he is a pound puppy, and you know, he's just, bless his heart, he's not a fighter. So he's just like sitting down because he's confused. He often like plays kind of rough with other puppies, but he doesn't necessarily he doesn't understand real fighting. Like, he likes to play fight. And so this dog's really biting him, and so he's getting nervous, so he keeps sitting down, and I'm trying to like pick him up so he's out of the dog's other dog, and the dog keeps biting him, and I couldn't get a hold of my dog. And finally I'm able to like scoop him up into my arms, and the dog literally jumps up, grabs and like bites on his leg, yanks him out of my arms. This whole time my boyfriend's still kicking and screaming at this dog. I'm screaming bloody murder. And I finally am able to like scoop my dog up again for a second time, and I just start running on the road as fast as I can, and I'm just screaming and crying, and my boyfriend's like running after me, telling me to slow down. I mean, it was just a whole mess, to be honest. So, you know, obviously I know I shouldn't have put my head down between like a dog coming at another dog, and how wrong that was, but in the moment I was just so panicked and I could not believe what was going on that I just did it. And honestly, if my boyfriend had not, I'm not kidding, my dog's pooping for a 6th time. If my boyfriend had not been there, I think it would have been a very different outcome. A very sad outcome. By the way, after that, he got me this pepper spray, which has been a lifesaver without a doubt. But we're just gonna go on a walk, and I'll talk to y'all later. We are back. We just did a 3-mile walk, and I think tonight I'm gonna focus on cleaning and doing our laundry. Amazing. He's actually tired. 3 miles.